Hello and welcome. I'm really glad you're here. Maybe you feel a little tired today. Maybe you don't want to do anything, or you feel lazy. That's okay. We all have days like this, and you are not alone. Everyone, from students to adults, sometimes feels this way. Maybe you woke up this morning and you thought, I want to be productive today. But when you looked at your to-do list or your homework, you just felt tired. You just wanted to lie in bed, scroll on your phone, or do nothing at all. Maybe you even felt a little guilty about it. You might wonder, why can't I just start? Or, what's wrong with me? Let me tell you, there is nothing wrong with you. Feeling lazy does not mean you are weak or bad. It just means you are human. It happens to everyone, even the most successful people in the world. Sometimes, we think that being productive means working very hard, finishing big tasks, or always being busy. We see other people on social media always doing something amazing, and we feel pressure to do the same. But the truth is, nobody is productive all the time. It's normal to have lazy days. But here's the good news. You can still be productive even when you feel lazy. You don't need to force yourself to work like a machine. There are simple, gentle ways to get things done, even on days when you have little energy or motivation. Today, we are going to talk about how you can do that. We will look at real stories, simple tips, and small steps that can help you start moving, even if you feel stuck. You don't need to make big changes. Even a tiny step forward is something to be proud of. I know how it feels to want to do more, but feel like you just can't. Maybe you feel heavy, slow, or even a little sad. Maybe you worry that you are wasting your time. If you have ever felt like this, you are not alone. Everyone has lazy days, and that's okay. Think about this. Have you ever noticed that sometimes just starting something small can help you feel better? Maybe you wash one dish, or write one sentence, or tidy your desk for 2 minutes. Suddenly, you feel a little energy, just enough to do one more thing. That's the magic of starting small. In this audio, I will share with you some easy, gentle ways to be productive when you feel lazy. You will hear stories, tips, and challenges you can try today. You will learn that you don't need to be perfect. You don't need to do everything at once. All you need is to take one small step at a time. By the end of our time together, I hope you will feel lighter, kinder to yourself, and ready to try something new. Maybe you will see your lazy days in a different way. Maybe you will even find some hidden strengths inside yourself. Are you ready to start this journey with me? I invite you to listen, relax, and reflect. You don't have to take notes or do anything special. Just listen, think, and maybe try a small challenge or two if you feel ready. Remember, this is not about forcing yourself to work harder. It's about finding small, kind ways to help yourself move forward even when you feel lazy or tired. It's about learning to be gentle with yourself and celebrating every little victory. So let's begin. Take a deep breath. Let's explore together how you can be productive, even on your laziest days. Are you with me? Today I want to share with you a simple truth. You can still be productive even when you feel lazy. Productivity does not always mean doing a lot or moving fast. Sometimes, being productive means doing just one small thing, even if it feels hard. Our main value for today is this. Productivity is possible for everyone, even on your slowest, laziest days. You do not have to be perfect. You do not have to work like a machine. All you need is to take one gentle step forward, no matter how small. This is the key idea I want you to remember. Your value does not depend on how much you do. You are not lazy. You are simply human. Everyone has days when it is hard to start, and that is okay. What matters most is how you treat yourself on these days. The real secret to being productive, even when you feel lazy, is to be kind to yourself and make your goals smaller and gentler. It is about finding what works for you, not what works for someone else. It is about progress, not perfection. So as we go through the next steps together, keep this in mind. It's okay to take things slow. It's okay to rest. You can still make progress even if it is only a little. Every small step is a victory, and every effort counts. This is your journey. This is your story. Today, you can start fresh in your own way. Let's discover together how gentle productivity can help you, even on the days when you feel lazy. Point 1. Accepting laziness without shame. Let's start with the first step, accepting laziness without shame. Have you ever felt bad just because you felt lazy? Maybe you called yourself lazy in a harsh way. Maybe you felt guilty because you couldn't start your homework or finish your chores. But let me tell you a secret. Feeling lazy is not a sign that you are a bad person. It is simply a feeling, just like feeling hungry or tired. Everybody feels lazy sometimes. Even the busiest, most successful people have lazy days. Imagine your mind is like a battery. Sometimes it is full and you have lots of energy. Sometimes it is low and you feel slow. When your battery is low, you don't blame your phone, right? You just charge it. Why not do the same with yourself? If you always feel ashamed about feeling lazy, it becomes even harder to start anything. The shame becomes heavier than the task itself. Instead, try to accept this feeling and talk to yourself like you would talk to a friend. Here is a story. Anna is a student who loves to learn, but some days she just can't focus. She used to get angry at herself and say, "I'm so lazy." But one day, her teacher said, "Anna, your body and mind need rest sometimes. It's not laziness. It's being human." After that, Anna tried something new. When she felt lazy, she told herself, "It's okay. I'm allowed to rest. I can start again later." She found it much easier to start her work after she was kind to herself. Now, I want you to think, have you ever called yourself lazy? Did it help you feel better, or did it make things harder? What if you tried to speak to yourself with kindness instead of criticism? There's an old saying, you catch more flies with honey than with vinegar. In other words, kindness works better than harshness, even with yourself. Your first challenge is simple. The next time you feel lazy, try not to call yourself names. Just notice the feeling and say to yourself, "It's okay to feel this way. I will do what I can when I'm ready." Try it today, even for just one moment. Remember, you are not your lazy feeling. It is just a temporary part of you, like a cloud in the sky. It will pass. Accept it with a gentle heart, and you will see how much easier it is to take the first step. If you want, you can even write a kind message to yourself. Something like, "I am learning. I am patient. I am enough, even on lazy days." Stick it on your wall, your notebook, or your phone as a little reminder. So let's agree on this. No more shame for feeling lazy. You are human. You are allowed to rest. Accept it, be kind, and watch how much lighter you feel. Are you ready to try? Let's move on to the next step together. Point 2. Start small. The power of tiny actions. Now let's talk about the power of starting small. Sometimes when you feel lazy, everything seems too big. Even a simple task, like writing an email or cleaning your desk, can feel like climbing a mountain. It's easy to feel stuck and do nothing at all. But what if you didn't have to do everything? What if you only needed to take one tiny step? Imagine you want to tidy your room, but the idea of cleaning everything feels impossible. Instead, you decide to pick up just one thing: a book, a shirt, or a piece of paper. This one tiny action is like opening a door. After you do it, you might feel ready to pick up one more thing. Or maybe not, and that's still okay. The important part is that you started. Tiny actions are powerful because they help you break the feeling of being stuck. Here's a story for you. Tom was always overwhelmed by his homework. He would look at the long list of assignments and just give up. One day, his older sister gave him advice. She said, "Just do one thing. Write the first sentence and see what happens." Tom tried it. He sat down, opened his notebook, and wrote one sentence. To his surprise, it wasn't as hard as he thought. Sometimes he wrote more. Other times, he stopped after just one sentence. But each time, it became easier to start. This is the magic of tiny actions. You don't have to finish the whole job. You just have to begin. Every small step gives you a little bit more energy and confidence. And sometimes, that first step is all you need to keep going. Have you ever tried this before? Maybe you started by washing just one dish or reading one page of a book. How did it feel? Did you notice that the hardest part is usually just getting started? There's a famous quote, "The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step." This is true for everyone, even on lazy days. One tiny action can change your whole mood and give you the push you need. Your challenge for today is this. Think of one task you've been avoiding because it feels too big. Break it down into the smallest possible step. Maybe it's writing just one word, putting away one item, or sending one short message. Promise yourself that you only need to do that one tiny step. If you feel like doing more, great. If not, that's okay too. Celebrate yourself for starting, no matter how small it seems. Remember, you don't need to do it all at once. Small steps add up. Every tiny action is a win, and every win builds your confidence. Soon, you might find it easier to do bigger things one small step at a time. Let's make starting small your new superpower. Are you ready to try it today? Let's keep moving forward, one tiny step at a time. Point 3. The 5-minute rule. Now, let's talk about a trick that many people find helpful, the 5-minute rule. Have you ever noticed that starting is often the hardest part? Sometimes, our brains make a task look bigger than it really is. We keep waiting for the right mood or perfect moment to begin. The 5-minute rule is simple. When you feel lazy or stuck, promise yourself you will do the task for just 5 minutes. Not more, not less. After 5 minutes, you can stop if you want. There is no pressure to finish. You just give yourself permission to start. Here's a mini story. Sarah needed to study for an exam, but she felt too tired and overwhelmed. She set a timer for 5 minutes and told herself, "Just read for 5 minutes, that's all." She started, and when the timer rang, she realized it wasn't so bad. Sometimes, after 5 minutes, you may feel motivated to continue. Sometimes you may want to stop. Both are okay. The important thing is that you showed up and tried. 5 minutes is short enough that it doesn't feel scary, but long enough to make a little progress. Think of it like dipping your toes in cold water before you swim. You don't need to jump in right away. You just test the water and let your body get used to it. The 5-minute rule helps you test the waters of a task so you don't feel overwhelmed. Have you ever told yourself, "I'll just do it for a little while," and then found yourself doing more? It happens because starting is the hardest part. Once you begin, your brain often finds a little energy to keep going. There's a saying, "Well begun is half done." It means that just by starting, you've already made a big step forward. Even if you stop after 5 minutes, you've broken the wall of procrastination. You've already won. Your challenge for today: choose something you've been putting off. Set a timer for 5 minutes. Tell yourself you only have to work until the timer rings. If you want to stop after that, give yourself permission to rest. You might be surprised how much you can do in just 5 minutes. Even if you don't finish, you will feel proud for trying. And sometimes, that small action is enough to build momentum for the next time. Try the 5-minute rule the next time you feel lazy or stuck. It's a gentle, powerful way to trick your brain into starting, and it works for almost anything: studying, cleaning, writing, or even exercising. So, what is one thing you could try for just 5 minutes today? Are you willing to give it a chance? Remember, 5 minutes is enough to make a change. You can always stop, but you might just keep going. Ready for the next step? Let's keep going together. Point 4. Change your environment. Sometimes the problem is not you, but your environment. Think about the place where you usually try to work or study. Is it noisy? Is it full of distractions like your phone, snacks, or a TV? Your environment can make you feel even lazier, or it can help you feel more ready to start. Imagine this. You want to read a book, but your bed looks so comfortable. Or you try to work at your desk, but your desk is messy and full of stuff. Suddenly, even simple tasks feel much harder. Our brains get distracted easily by things around us. Here's a story. Mark always tried to do his homework in his living room, but his younger brother watched TV there, and his phone was always close by. He felt lazy and couldn't concentrate. One day, Mark moved to a quiet corner in his house and put his phone in another room. To his surprise, it felt much easier to get started. The new environment helped him focus. He did not become a different person overnight. He just changed where he worked. Sometimes, a small change in your environment can make a big difference. Try this. Look around you right now. Is there something in your environment making it hard to focus? Maybe your desk is too messy or you have too many distractions. What could you change to make it easier to start your work? You don't need to clean your whole room or move to a new house. Maybe just clear a small space on your table or turn off your notifications. Maybe open a window for fresh air or put on headphones to block out noise. There's an old idiom, out of sight, out of mind. If you put your distractions away, even for a short time, it's much easier to pay attention to what you want to do. The less you see things that distract you, the less tempted you are to avoid your work. Let's try a small challenge. Pick one thing in your environment that distracts you. For the next 10 minutes, put it away or turn it off. Maybe it's your phone, or maybe it's a snack. Notice how you feel and if it's easier to start your task. If you want, you can even create a little focus zone. It could be a corner of your room with a clean desk, a comfortable chair, or a special light. Tell yourself, when I'm here, I'll just try to do one small thing. Your brain will learn this habit over time. Remember, you don't have to be perfect. Just try making your environment a little bit more helpful, one step at a time. Even small changes can help you feel less lazy and more ready to be productive. So, what's one thing you can change about your environment today? Are you willing to try it, even just for a few minutes? Let's see what happens when you give yourself a better space to start. Let's move forward to the next idea together. Point 5. Use the 2-minute tidy. Let's talk about a super simple trick, the 2-minute tidy. When you feel lazy, even a little mess can feel like a mountain. But did you know that just 2 minutes of tidying up can make a big difference in how you feel and how much you can get done? Picture this. You sit down at your desk, but it's covered with papers, snacks, and random things. Your brain feels confused and tired, and you just want to give up. But what if you set a timer and cleaned up for only 2 minutes? That's all. Just 2 minutes. Here's a little story. Mia wanted to study, but her desk was always messy. She told herself, I don't have time to clean it all. Then, one day, she tried something new. She put on her favorite song and cleaned up her desk for only the length of the song. She was surprised. After just 2 minutes, her desk looked much better. She felt proud and found it easier to start her homework. Sometimes, just a quick tidy can give you the fresh start you need, even if everything isn't perfect. You might wonder, can 2 minutes really make a difference? Try it for yourself. You don't need to clean your whole room or organize every drawer. Just pick up a few things, throw away some trash, or clear off one part of your table. There's an idea called resetting the room. It means making a space look a little better, not perfect. Even a small reset helps your brain feel less overwhelmed. When your space feels lighter, your mind can focus more easily. So here's your challenge. Before you start your next task, do a 2-minute tidy. Set a timer, put on a song, and see what you can clean up in just 2 minutes. Don't worry about making everything perfect. Just make a small change. After you finish, notice how you feel. Is it easier to focus? Do you feel a little more motivated to start your work or study? Sometimes, this tiny action is all you need to break the feeling of laziness and give yourself a fresh start. Imagine you're giving yourself a little runway before you take off. It's not about being super clean or organized. It's just about making it a little easier for your brain to do the next small thing. Have you ever tried this before? How did it feel? If not, why not try it today and see what happens? Remember, 2 minutes can be enough to change your mood and help you move forward. Let's use this simple trick whenever you feel stuck or unmotivated. A 2-minute tidy can help turn a lazy day into a more productive one tiny action at a time. Ready for the next tip? Let's keep going together. Point 6. The magic of movement. Now, let's talk about something simple that can change your whole mood. Movement. When you feel lazy or tired, it's easy to think you just need to sit still, but often, a little movement is the secret to finding new energy. Imagine your body as a car. If a car sits in the garage too long, the engine becomes cold and hard to start. But if you turn it on and drive, even just around the block, everything works better. Your body and mind work the same way. Here's a true story. David was always tired after school and didn't want to do his homework. One day his mom said, "Let's take a short walk together." David didn't feel like moving, but he went. After just 5 minutes outside, he felt a little more awake. Sometimes, just getting up and stretching your arms or walking to the kitchen for a glass of water is enough. You don't need to run a marathon or go to the gym. Even standing up and moving for a minute or two can help your brain feel less lazy. Why does this work? Movement wakes up your muscles and sends more blood to your brain. When your body moves, your mind wakes up too. Even a silly dance, a few jumping jacks, or just shaking out your hands can break the heavy feeling of laziness. Here's a quick challenge for you. Right now, if you can, stand up and stretch your arms over your head. Roll your shoulders or take a few deep breaths while moving your body. Notice how you feel after just a little bit of movement. If you want, you can make it a habit. Every time you feel stuck, do a movement minute. Put on a song, walk around your room, or stretch your legs. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just move, even in a small way. There's a saying, motion creates emotion. When you move your body, your feelings often follow. If you want to feel a little happier or more awake, try moving, even if it's just a tiny bit. Have you ever tried moving when you felt lazy? Did it help? What's one small way you can add movement to your day? Maybe take the stairs, walk to the window, or stand up while listening to this audio. Remember, movement is a tool you can use anytime, anywhere. It doesn't have to be big or fancy. Just a few seconds of movement can give you the push you need to start your next small task. Ready to use the magic of movement? Let's keep learning and growing, one small step at a time. Point 7. Make a list, but keep it tiny. Let's talk about lists. Many people think that making a long to-do list will help them be productive. But sometimes, a big list makes you feel more stressed and lazy, not less. When you see too many tasks, your brain wants to give up before even starting. Here's a new way to try. Make a tiny list. Instead of writing 10 or 20 things, choose just 1, 2, or 3 important tasks for your day. This makes your goals feel smaller and more possible. A tiny list is your friend on slow, lazy days. Here's a quote to remember. Less is more. You don't need to do everything today. You just need to do what really matters. A small list helps you focus and celebrate every little win. It's better to finish 2 tasks than to feel guilty about not doing 10. Let's imagine a story. Joe always made long lists but never finished them. He felt bad and thought, why can't I do more? One day, he tried a tiny list. He chose only 2 things: finish his math homework and take out the trash. That day, he finished both and felt proud. The next day, Joe made another tiny list. Sometimes he did more, sometimes less, but each time he finished his small list, he gave himself a little reward, a snack, a break, or a happy song. Soon, his lazy days became more productive and less stressful. What would your tiny list look like today? If you could only do 2 things, what would they be? This is your challenge. Write down just 2 or 3 important things you want to finish today. Don't worry about the rest. Focus on what matters most. You can even make your list fun. Use colors, stickers, or draw little pictures. When you finish each item, cross it off and celebrate in your own way. Sometimes the act of crossing something off is the best feeling of all. Remember, a tiny list is not a sign of weakness. It's a smart way to use your energy. You are choosing quality over quantity. You are making sure your goals are realistic and you give yourself more chance to succeed, even on lazy days. What small things can you put on your list today? Maybe it's sending 1 message, cleaning 1 corner of your room, or reading 1 chapter of a book. Keep it simple. The goal is to feel proud, not stressed. Try making a tiny list for tomorrow. Notice how it changes your mood and motivation. When you finish your small tasks, allow yourself to rest and celebrate. You did enough. Every small win counts, and you deserve to feel good about your effort. Ready for the next tip? Let's keep going, 1 small step at a time. Point 8. Reward yourself for micro wins. Now, let's talk about something many people forget: rewarding yourself for micro wins. Sometimes we think only big achievements deserve celebration. But the truth is, every small step forward is important, especially when you feel lazy. Imagine your motivation like a tiny plant. Every time you celebrate a small win, it's like giving your plant water and sunlight. It grows a little stronger each day. If you only wait for big results, your plant might dry up and stop growing. Here's a story. Nadia often struggled to start her school projects. She decided to reward herself for every small action, not just the final result. If she finished 1 page, she watched a funny video. If she sent an email, she ate her favorite snack. These little rewards made her want to keep going. Have you ever noticed how good it feels to finish something, even if it's tiny? Maybe you clean your table and then treat yourself to a cup of tea. Or you study for 5 minutes and then listen to your favorite song. These moments are like giving yourself a gold star. There's a saying, success is the sum of small efforts repeated day in and day out. This means that every little win matters. It's not just about finishing the marathon. It's about every step along the way. So, how can you reward yourself for micro wins today? You don't need to spend money or do anything big. Maybe take a short walk, text a friend, dance for a minute, or simply say, "Good job, me." The key is to notice your progress and give yourself a positive feeling. Here's your challenge. After you finish your next small task, maybe making your bed or writing 1 sentence, stop for a moment, smile, take a breath, and do something nice for yourself. This habit can turn lazy days into happy, productive ones. Rewards help your brain remember that effort is worth it. Over time, you will look forward to working because you know something good is waiting for you at the end of each small step. What are your favorite rewards? How do you like to celebrate your micro wins? Think about it and try to add 1 small reward to your day, starting now. Remember, you deserve kindness and celebration, no matter how small your progress is. Every step forward is a victory, and every victory deserves a little joy. Let's keep moving and get ready for the next tip together. Point 9. Find an accountability buddy. Sometimes, trying to be productive by yourself can feel lonely and difficult. That's why finding an accountability buddy can make a huge difference, especially on days when you feel lazy or unmotivated. You don't have to do it all alone. An accountability buddy is someone you trust. A friend, family member, or even an online study partner who helps you stay on track. You help each other by checking in, sharing goals, and celebrating small wins together. It's like having a teammate for your daily life. Let's imagine a short conversation. Emma and Lisa are both students who want to finish their homework. Emma texts Lisa, "Let's study together at 4 p.m. just for 20 minutes?" Lisa replies, "Yes, we can check in when we finish." Suddenly, starting feels much easier for both of them. Here's a real-life story. Amir found it hard to exercise by himself. He made a deal with his cousin. They would both walk for 10 minutes every day and send each other a photo afterward. This simple routine made Amir feel more motivated and less alone. Have you ever noticed how working with someone else, even in silence, can help you get more done? Sometimes, just knowing someone is cheering you on makes you want to keep going, even on lazy days. There's a saying, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. This means that with support, you can keep moving forward even when the journey feels slow or difficult. Here's your challenge. Think of someone you trust. It could be a friend, classmate, or family member. Ask them if they want to be your accountability buddy for one small goal. Maybe you both want to finish a task or just check in at the end of the day. You can send a message like, "Let's both try to finish one thing and tell each other when we're done." Even a simple check-in can make you feel supported and less alone in your efforts. Remember, everyone has lazy days. Your buddy will too, and you can encourage each other when things get tough. Sometimes, just talking about your plans out loud makes them feel more real and possible. Who could you ask to be your accountability buddy this week? Give it a try and notice how your motivation changes. Working together can turn boring or difficult tasks into something more fun. Let's move on to the next idea and keep growing step by step together. Point 10. Reframe negative self-talk. One big reason we feel stuck and lazy is negative self-talk. These are the quiet voices in your head that say, "You're lazy," "You'll never finish," or "You're not good enough." This kind of thinking can make any task feel even harder. But here's the truth. Your thoughts are not always facts. Just because you think something doesn't mean it's true. Sometimes your brain is just tired or scared. You can learn to talk to yourself in a kinder way, and this can help you feel more ready to start. Imagine your mind is like a radio. If it's playing a negative song, you can change the channel. Instead of "I'm so lazy," try saying, "I'm having a slow day, and that's okay." Or, "I can try again, even if I don't finish everything." Here's a short story. Alex always thought, "I never do enough." This made him avoid work and feel worse. His friend suggested a new habit. Every time Alex thought something negative, he would pause and ask, "Is this thought helpful or just hurtful?" With practice, Alex began to notice his old habits. He started changing his self-talk to, "I'm making progress," or "I can try one small thing." It wasn't magic, but slowly he felt less stuck and more gentle with himself, even on lazy days. Let's try a reflection. What negative things do you say to yourself when you feel lazy? Are those thoughts helping you or making you feel worse? What would you say to a friend who felt the same way? There's a saying, speak to yourself as you would to someone you love. Would you call your best friend lazy or useless? Of course not. You would encourage them, tell them it's okay to rest, and remind them of their strengths. Here's your challenge. The The next time you catch yourself saying something negative, pause. Take a deep breath. Then, change your thought into something softer, like, it's okay to go slow, or I'm learning as I go. If you want, you can write down a few kind phrases to keep near your desk or phone. When you notice negative self-talk, read your new phrases out loud. This practice will get easier with time and can help you feel lighter, even on tough days. Remember, everyone has bad days and unkind thoughts sometimes. What matters is how you respond. Be gentle with yourself and see how your motivation starts to change. Ready to reframe your thoughts and keep moving forward? Let's continue to the next step. Point 11. Use music, sound, or silence. Sometimes, the sounds around you can make a big difference in your energy and focus. When you feel lazy, the right music, a bit of sound, or even complete silence can help you start a task or keep going a little longer. Think about this. Have you ever played your favorite song to get out of bed or to clean your room? Music can give you a little push when you don't feel like doing anything. For many people, a good beat or a relaxing melody can help break the feeling of laziness. Here's a story. Nina felt too tired to study. She played some gentle music in the background. It didn't make her finish all her work in one go, but it helped her start. The sound filled her room and made her feel less alone with her thoughts. But not everyone likes music when working. Some people focus better in silence or with the soft sounds of nature, like rain or birds. Others like background sounds, such as a cafe or quiet chatter. The key is to try and see what works best for you. There's even a simple experiment you can do. Next time you feel stuck, try listening to music for a few minutes. Then switch to silence, then try a sound like rain or ocean waves. Notice how each one affects your mood and focus. There's a saying, music is food for the soul. For some, it brings energy. For others, peace. You get to choose what your mind needs today. Maybe you need lively songs to move your body or calm sounds to help your thoughts slow down. Your challenge for today. When you feel lazy, pick one song, one sound, or one moment of quiet. Use it to start your next small task. If it helps, use it again. If not, try something different next time. Do you have a favorite song or sound that helps you feel better? Maybe make a playlist for your slow days so it's ready when you need a little boost. Sometimes just pressing play can help you start something new. Remember, everyone's brain works differently. What helps one person might not work for someone else. It's okay to experiment and find your own best way. The goal is to make your environment support your focus and energy. So next time you feel stuck, try changing the sound around you. Maybe music, maybe silence, maybe something new. Let's keep exploring what works for you, step by step. Point 12. Set a simple goal for today only. Sometimes, when you feel lazy, thinking about all your tasks for the week or month can make you feel even more tired. Instead, try setting just one simple goal for today. Focusing on the present helps your mind feel lighter and your tasks feel possible. Imagine you are climbing a mountain. If you keep looking at the very top, the journey feels too long and hard. But if you focus only on the next small step, it feels easier to keep going. Today, let's find your next small step. Here's a story. Leo used to worry about everything he needed to do all week. This made him feel frozen and lazy. Then, he tried choosing just one goal for each day. Sometimes it was read one chapter or clean my desk. He felt less stress and more satisfaction. What is one thing you can do today that would make you feel a little proud? It doesn't have to be big. Maybe it's sending one email, walking outside for 5 minutes, or writing a few sentences in your journal. One goal is enough for today. There's a helpful quote. Do what you can, with what you have, where you are. You don't need to finish everything. You just need to choose one thing that feels right for you today. Progress is made step by step. Your challenge for now, Before you end your day, ask yourself, what is my simple goal for today? Write it down or say it out loud. When you finish it, give yourself a moment to smile and feel proud, even if it's a very small win. If you want, you can share your goal with a friend or your accountability buddy. Saying your goal out loud makes it feel more real and gives you a reason to celebrate when you complete it. Remember, some days will be slow, and that's okay. On those days, your only goal might be to rest, to breathe, or to take care of yourself. That's a valid goal too. Every day is different, and every small goal matters. What simple goal will you choose for today? Think about it, write it down, and try your best to complete it. You are building a habit of success, one small step at a time. Let's keep moving forward together, focusing on today and celebrating your effort. Point 13. Reflect on why you feel lazy. Sometimes, feeling lazy is not just about being tired or bored. It can be a message from your mind or your body. Maybe you need rest, maybe you feel overwhelmed, or maybe you just don't see the point of the task in front of you. Reflecting on why you feel lazy can help you understand yourself better and find kinder solutions. Imagine your mind like a garden. If a plant is not growing well, you don't yell at it or call it lazy. You look for the reason. Is it getting enough sunlight? Water? Is the soil healthy? Your feelings work the same way. If you always fight your laziness, you might miss the real message behind it. Here's a story. Sam always felt lazy when he sat down to do his math homework. For weeks he told himself, "I'm just lazy, that's all." But one day, his teacher asked him, "Why do you think math feels so hard?" Sam realized he didn't understand the last lesson. He needed help, not more pressure. Sometimes, laziness is your mind's way of saying you are tired, confused, or maybe even worried about something else. It could be your body asking for rest or your brain telling you it needs a break, a snack, or some support. When you pause and ask, why, you give yourself a chance to respond with kindness instead of judgment. Here's a mini reflection you can try. The next time you feel lazy, pause for a moment. Ask yourself, am I tired, hungry, stressed, or confused? Maybe write your answer in a notebook or phone. You might be surprised what you discover about yourself. There's a saying, awareness is the first step to change. Once you know why you feel the way you do, you can choose a better solution. Maybe you just need 5 minutes of rest. Maybe you need to ask someone for help. Maybe you need to make your task more interesting or meaningful. Here's another real-life example. Maya often felt too lazy to go for a walk, even though she wanted to exercise more. She took a few minutes to think about why. She realized she always felt this way after a long, stressful day at school. Her body was tired and needed rest first. After a short nap or a snack, she found it easier to move. Try this gentle challenge. When you notice you feel lazy, instead of pushing yourself harder, ask yourself a few questions. Is this task important to me? Am I being fair to myself? Do I need help, a break, or a new approach? Write down your answers or talk about them with someone you trust. Sometimes you might realize the thing you're avoiding isn't really necessary. Maybe it's someone else's expectation, not your own. Other times, you might find that a small change makes everything easier. A glass of water, a little music, or changing where you sit. You can also use a simple why ladder. Ask yourself, why don't I want to do this? Write down your answer. Then ask, why do I feel that way? Keep going step by step until you find the real reason. Often, you'll discover it's not laziness, but something deeper. Remember, everyone feels lazy sometimes. The key is to treat that feeling like a message, not a mistake. Listen to yourself with kindness and curiosity, not blame. Every time you understand yourself better, you grow stronger and more able to help yourself next time. So, what is your laziness trying to tell you today? Take a moment, breathe, and listen. Your mind and body are always sending you signals. When you reflect and respond with care, you open the door to real, gentle productivity. Even on your slowest days. Let's get ready for the next step on this journey together. Point 14. Let go of perfection. Sometimes, what really stops us from being productive is not laziness at all. It's the heavy feeling that we must do everything perfectly. This is called perfectionism. When we believe every task must be done without a single mistake, we feel frozen, worried, and afraid to even start. Imagine you are standing in front of a blank page. You want to write something, but your mind keeps telling you, it has to be perfect. You erase the first sentence again and again. After a while, you give up and do nothing at all. This is how perfectionism steals your motivation and leaves you feeling lazy. Here's a story. Tanya wanted to make a birthday card for her friend. She spent hours looking for the perfect design and never started drawing. The day before her friend's birthday, she was still empty-handed and felt terrible. In the end, she made a simple card in 5 minutes. Her friend loved it, not because it was perfect, but because it was from the heart. Perfectionism is like a heavy backpack full of rocks. The more you carry, the slower you move. Sometimes, it's better to take out a few rocks and walk freely, even if your steps aren't perfect. Real progress happens when you let go of the need to be flawless. There's a helpful quote, "Done is better than perfect." This means it's better to finish something small, even with mistakes, than to never finish at all. The world does not need your perfect work. It needs your real effort and your unique voice. Think about this. Have you ever stopped yourself from trying something new because you were afraid to make mistakes? Maybe you didn't speak in class, or you avoided drawing, writing, or singing because you thought you weren't good enough. How did that make you feel? Perfectionism can hide behind many faces. Sometimes it's fear of judgment, fear of disappointing others, or fear of failing. But everyone makes mistakes, even the most successful people in the world. Mistakes are proof that you are learning, growing, and trying. Let's try a gentle challenge together. Pick one small task today that you've been avoiding because you wanted it to be perfect. Tell yourself, I give myself permission to do this badly. Then do it quickly without worrying about mistakes. Notice how you feel after you finish. Most of the time, you'll realize the world did not end. And sometimes you even enjoy the freedom of imperfection. Here's an analogy. Imagine a child learning to ride a bike. If they waited until they could ride perfectly, they would never start. But with each wobbly ride and every fall, they get better and stronger. Life is like learning to ride that bike. Imperfect action is the only way forward. Try this reflection. What does perfectionism look like for you? Does it sound like I can't start unless I have more time? Or I'll wait until I feel ready? Write down one area of your life where perfectionism has held you back. Then write a message to yourself. It's okay to be imperfect. I will try anyway. If you want, talk to a friend or your accountability buddy about your challenge. Sometimes, saying your goal out loud makes it easier to let go of fear and just begin. Remember, progress matters more than perfection. Every effort, every small step is worth celebrating. The world is not looking for perfect people. It needs real people who try, who learn, and who keep moving forward even on slow, lazy days. So, what can you do today, even if it's not perfect? Take a deep breath, let go of the heavy backpack, and take one step. You might be surprised at how light and free you feel. Let's move on to the last main tip together, ready to be imperfect and proud. At the end of a long day, especially when you feel lazy or slow, it's easy to focus on what you didn't finish. Maybe you look at your list and see tasks left undone. Maybe you hear a little voice saying, you could have done more. But real growth happens when you end your day with kindness, not criticism. Think about your favorite sports team. Sometimes they win, sometimes they lose. But after every game, good coaches don't only talk about mistakes. They celebrate what went well and encourage their players to try again tomorrow. You can be your own kind coach at the end of each day. Here's a story. Priya often felt bad at night, remembering everything she should have done. One evening, she decided to write down 3 small things she had done well, even if they were simple. I made my bed. I smiled at a friend. I took a walk. Over time, this habit made her feel happier and less afraid to try new things the next day. There's a helpful idiom. Don't let the sun go down on your anger. This means don't end your day feeling upset or disappointed in yourself. Instead, try to end each day by being gentle and grateful for your own efforts. Imagine your day is like a garden. Maybe some seeds didn't grow today, but maybe you watered one small plant or pulled out a weed or simply enjoyed the sunshine. Every day, something positive happens, even on slow or lazy days. Notice these moments and celebrate them. Here's a gentle challenge. Before you go to sleep, take a few minutes to reflect. Ask yourself, what did I do today that made me proud? It could be something very small, like getting out of bed when you didn't want to, helping someone, or just being kind to yourself. Write it down or say it out loud. If you find it hard to notice good things, ask a friend or family member to help. Sometimes others see our progress more clearly than we do. Share one small win with someone you trust or send a message saying, "Today, I did this and I feel good about it." There's a beautiful quote, "Be gentle with yourself." You're doing the best you can. Life is full of ups and downs, fast days and slow ones. What matters is that you keep showing up, keep trying, and keep believing in your own worth. Try to make a habit of ending each day with kindness, not just for yourself, but for others too. Say thank you to someone, or send a kind message, or simply smile at yourself in the mirror. These small acts of kindness build a stronger, more positive mindset over time. Have you ever ended your day by focusing on your wins instead of your failures? How did it feel? What if you tried it for 1 week and noticed how your mood and motivation changed? Remember, every effort is worth something. On lazy days, being kind to yourself is the bravest thing you can do. You are not your unfinished tasks. You are a person who is learning, growing, and doing your best one day at a time. So tonight, as you get ready to rest, take a deep breath and thank yourself for every step you took today. Let go of the pressure to be perfect and look forward to tomorrow with hope and kindness in your heart. Ready for a final reflection and gentle challenge before we close? Let's finish strong together. We've reached the end of our journey together. You've learned that being productive when you feel lazy is not about forcing yourself to work harder or being perfect every day. Instead, it's about kindness, small steps, and understanding yourself a little better. Let's take a moment to remember what you've discovered. You learned that feeling lazy is normal and that you're not alone. You don't have to feel ashamed or guilty for having slow days. Everyone, even the most successful people, has moments when it's hard to start. You learn that starting with tiny actions and using tools like the 5-minute rule can help you break the feeling of being stuck. Changing your environment, tidying for just 2 minutes, and adding a bit of movement can make a big difference to your mood and motivation. You also discovered the power of making a tiny list, celebrating micro wins, and finding an accountability buddy to support you. You learned how to reframe negative self-talk and experiment with music, sound, or silence to help you focus. We talked about setting one simple goal for today and reflecting on why you feel lazy instead of blaming yourself. You discovered how letting go of perfection can help you move forward, and how ending your day with kindness builds a stronger, happier you. Now I invite you to reflect on your own journey. What new idea did you find most helpful? Is there a tip or story that you want to try in your own life? Take a moment to think about what you want to remember from today's lesson. Here's your final challenge. For the next week, choose one small habit from this audio. Maybe it's writing a tiny list, using the 5-minute rule, or ending your day with a moment of kindness. Practice it every day, even if just for a few minutes. Notice how it changes your mood and your motivation. Remember, progress is made one small step at a time. You do not need to change your whole life overnight. Every gentle action is a win. Every kind thought is a step forward. Celebrate yourself for showing up and listening, even if you only try one new thing. If you ever feel stuck again, you can come back to this audio for a reminder or share it with a friend who might need support too. You can also write down your favorite quotes, challenges, or ideas and keep them nearby for slow days. Thank you for listening and for being part of this journey. I hope you feel a little lighter, a little braver, and a little more kind to yourself. Remember, you are enough, just as you are, even on your laziest days. Keep moving forward at your own pace. Be gentle with yourself. Every step counts, and you are doing better than you think. I'm proud of you for taking this time to learn and grow. Take a deep breath, give yourself a smile, and get ready to welcome tomorrow. One small, gentle step at a time. Until next time, stay kind, stay curious, and never forget that you have the power to be productive in your own unique way. Goodbye and good luck.